feel like the internet is on a rampage right now of people just blasting people, because this past week, it's like people are coming out with series after series, just putting people under fire. Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
What's your monster?
So today I went with the Ultra Sunrise because it is hot as heck in New York City.
The Ultra Sunrise. What's it taste like?
Like, did you ever drink the orange high seas at McDonald's?
I knew you were going to say a high C. Yes, I thought it was a high C. Yeah, I was hoping.
It tastes identical to that. It is so good.
Yum.
Except it's packed with caffeine, which I love.
Yeah, which I love. I'm so jealous. I'm getting closer to my monster journey starting, but I'm glad you're enjoying it for the both of us.
I feel like I have so much to talk to you about because I feel like a million trillion things have happened on the internet and in life lately.
What are they? I've missed them all. I'm just kidding. I did catch up.
Last week, I texted Alex. I was like, you're watching the Brooke, Schofield, and Clinton Kane series, and we're going to talk about it on this podcast because it is wild.
I know.
You watched it.
I watched it. I needed it. I was really down a assassination attempt rabbit hole at the time, and so you really got me away from that.
Let me tell you, we don't talk about politics on this show, but I could talk about conspiracies around that.
I'm like, there's nothing juicier. But whatever side you're on doesn't even matter. That was news.
There was a conspiracy that there was a guy in the background that people think is JFK Jr. And they're like, we know he's dead, but we think he's actually not. And that was the guy behind Trump.
That's their way of showing us. We're never going to know. We're never going to know. Like, I feel like in 100 years, they're going to look back and it's going to be like, I watched this TikTok about how Disney planted like Finding Nemo 3 years ahead of time. So like, I can't remember what Disney show it was, but this guy opens his locker and there was like a little Nemo sticker on the wall. And then 3 years later, Finding Nemo comes out. So they're constantly planting and you never know where the nuggets are. And I'm like, that's probably going to be us. Like, it's all a big joke. And he actually was there. Junior was there behind him. You know, he's not dead. He's alive. They're just running like we're actually in Fahrenheit 451 or something.
What's Fahrenheit 451?
Oh, it was a book. Okay. Well, it's like a controlled society where they like don't allow you to like think or read, but because they do everything for you.
Wait, was that fiction or nonfiction?
Well, it was absolutely fiction, thank God.
I feel like that was a book in school that we were told to read, but I never read it.
It was a book in school we were told to read, yes.
Yeah. I see, that's what freaked me out when I was a kid. Anything that was like dystopia or conspiracy, people controlling us, like that stuff all used to freak me out. Now I love that stuff. Like, you get me on a conspiracy grind or on TikTok and I will be watching it for hours.
Yeah, because we can it's like our brains can finally understand it. When we were younger, we like didn't know how to separate. I mean, I don't know. The more we go on after COVID, I'm like, anything could happen.
Yeah, I've just been watching every single time a conspiracy TikTok comes up, I watch the whole thing, and I think it's fascinating and so fun. Even if I know it's like crazy and not real, I still just find so much enjoyment and entertainment in conspiracies. And I also find them fascinating too, how some of them actually do sound so true, where I'm like, I do believe this.
I know, but I think like less is like, ignorance is bliss sometimes, because then don't you start to doubt everything around you?
Oh yeah, and then I start to spiral, and I'm like, are we in the Matrix, and is everything around us fake?
Yeah, exactly. I know.
The other day, I was spiraling, and I remember being like, it was just one of those days where I was comparing myself to like every single person on the internet, and I was like, Jordan, we live in a matrix. None of these people are real. This is just the universe planting people in your life to make you motivated, or this or that, or for entertainment. And then I was like, nothing is real. What is real? And then I needed to take a break from the internet.
Oh man, that's like my painting that says my rampage is over, I must rest. It's like you gotta like the tornado stops spinning, and it's like, okay, I can come back.
Oh yeah. But it's crazy because I feel like the internet is on a rampage right now of people just blasting people, because I feel like we go through these phases. I remember a time, I think it was actually like during COVID, where there was just like so much tea and drama on TikTok. And then I feel like for the past few years, it's been very like, yeah, little's happened here or there. But this past week, it's like people are coming out with series after series, just putting people under fire. And I need to know your thoughts on Brooke and the Clinton Kane thing, because those were, I'm assuming, newer people to you.
They were brand new to me. I had no idea about either of them, and it's just a wild story to fake. Well, first of all, just to fake that your mom was dead, and like to stick and like to keep doubling down on it.
Did you watch his part, like his like 24-part series?
No.
His rebuttal. Oh, Alex. Oh my God. So he came out with, I think it was like 24 parts rebuttaling back to what Brooke said. But it was so hilarious because his way of coming back was like being so literal. Like, for example, he'd be like, Brooke lied. We didn't get pulled over going to Tahoe. We got pulled over coming home from Tahoe. See, she can't get the story straight. And Brooke's like, who cares which direction we were going to? Like, you got pulled over. It wasn't your car and you didn't have your ID. That is the problem. Oh, and by the way, you lied about your mom dying.
There's nothing that the man can, like, I don't need to hear anything else from him other than that his mom's alive.
So he talked about that, and he said that so his real mom is alive, but what happened is he met this woman in his teens, which is a little funky to me, that in a year became a mother figure to him. In that year, she passed away, and then he went on a podcast, and someone asked him about his mom, and he like stupidly was like, she's dead, referring to the motherly figure, not his real mom, and then he just went with it. That's his excuse.
So he just lived the lie?
He just lived the lie.
So I guess for listeners, like if you haven't seen these series, basically he's a singer.
Yeah, he's actually like very famous. I didn't know who Clinton Kane was, but then I looked him up on Spotify and I'm like, oh my God, I've heard so many of these songs.
Yeah, I looked him up too. I had heard a lot of them. He didn't look anything like I thought he was going to look like. But basically he has written songs about his mother's death, been on podcasts talking about his mother's death. I read an article about his side, and I guess some podcaster asked him about his mom's death, and he was like, well, and like referred to her as alive, and then he started laughing and was like, God, sorry, she's dead. And they were like, you wouldn't think anything of it unless now you think everything of it. But at the time you were just like, oh, whoops. So anyways, he's a serial killer kind of mentality.
Well, it's just crazy how someone that's that famous can get away with so many lies. Like, you would think it'd be really hard to get away with that many lies when so many people know you and so many eyes are on you, and like there's so many people that could come forward being like, he's a liar, I actually saw his mom yesterday. So that's like what really baffles me, is like how he got away with it for so long.
So he's the kind of internet person that I have a problem with, in terms of like, that's like a messed up moral lie to like double down on. Did you see who's the guy that got caught doing OnlyFans like gay porn stuff? Who?
Oh, what's up, brother?
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know.
Sketch. Now him I feel really sorry for, and like him I have no problem with, because he wasn't saying he just wasn't talking about doing that, and he wasn't like lying the other, you know what I mean? Like that to me was just, he didn't want to talk about that, and I don't have any problem with that. It didn't change my view on him. But this like lying about your mom dying and double down on it, it's just like, what? He
actually had a really great I don't want to say like come back to that, but he was just like, yes, that was me. Mm-hmm. That was me during a different time. Like, he was just so honest and open about it, and he like cut to the chase right away. He answered everyone's questions, and he was like, now let's move on. And I was like, that's a good way to go forward, where Clinton was just like wrapping himself up in more and more lies, and they now are just like out of control.
Yeah, I think that the way that they were handled, I saw Sketch's video too, saying like he was a bit depressed after it all came, obviously, and like his parents really got him through it, and one of his friends got him through it, and I was like, what a human response to trauma, to something, traumatic coming out, versus the other guy, I'm just kind of like, I don't even want to I would never want to hang out with you ever. Because I just wouldn't trust you, and you can't even say I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all carry around different stressors, big and small, and no matter how big or no matter how small, there is nothing that you can't untangle in therapy. As you guys know, keeping it bottled up can start to affect people negatively. Jordan and I are huge proponents of therapy. We both go to therapy. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever is weighing you down in life. So, you guys, you know that we are constantly saying go to therapy, try to be your best self. If you feel like you're in a knot, go untangle that knot. So if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/meangirl today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/meangirl.
No, Clinton's gone too far. And now, like, so many girls are coming out and being like, he cheated on me. He did this to me. He emotionally abused me. Like, similar stories to what Brooke went through. And it just also it's crazy how this man has just gotten away with hurting so many women. And it's like, that's like what is scary about like people with narcissistic personalities or sociopathic personalities, how they have like this control on very vulnerable or sensitive people, and they can just really take over their entire life. And it's just like, it was just wild to hear Brooke's story. My jaw was actually on the floor.
Yeah, I felt bad for her. She told it in a really like interesting way, but the twists and turns of it all, if I was him, I wouldn't have responded anything other than I messed up.
Oh my God. I truly think him responding made it worse. Because I was like, Clinton, we all kind of forgot about it, but now we all remember it because you came out with 24 videos just running in a circle. And now I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like that didn't go well. It is crazy that we live in a time where you can just go up and pop up a 24-part video and tell your story.
Okay, I actually have a question. Is that not defamation at all?
Oh, I'm sure it's character defamation at some point. But she didn't actually say, oh, I don't know, the legal.
Well, the only reason why I bring that up is because I just got done watching Cruel Summer, which if you haven't watched that, that's another good while you're kind of like in your relaxing mode until the baby is born show to watch. It's an old show. It came out in 2020, but it's one of those shows where I was like, I never watched it, but I should have. And it's about this girl who was kidnapped and then claims that one of her classmates saw her being kidnapped but never said anything about it. But then she goes on like public TV, kind of like a Ellen DeGeneres show, and is like, Jeanette Turner saw me being kidnapped and she didn't do anything about it. And then Jeanette sued that girl for defamation of her character. And then I started thinking, I'm like, can that happen if you slander someone on TikTok like that? I just like thought of that right now. I have no idea.
Yeah, I wonder. I have no idea either. I guess the good news is he kind of did it back. What was I going to say? Oh, didn't you watch Your Honor? Did you post you watched Your Honor? Yes. So Harrison watched it because you watched it, and he loved it.
Oh, so good. Did you not watch it?
I didn't watch it, so now I've downloaded it, and I'm going to watch it next. But I'm on this presumed innocent thing, but I
love.
Yeah, but I want to watch Your Honor. That just reminded me of shows you'd watch. I meant to tell you that last week, but I forgot.
No, he texted me, and he was like, great rec. I really liked watching. I was like, good, me too, except it's depressing as can be. Maybe you shouldn't watch it, Alex.
Oh, I'm not
Maybe
watching that.
He
did not tell me it was depressing. He just told me it was really good.
So it's so good, but it's so like messed up and sad. And it's very gruesome. Like they show a lot of like blood.
Did you ever watch Defending Jacob?
I did. Pete and I just finished that like a month ago.
I thought that was really
pissed me off.
Yeah. I thought it was a sad ending, but I thought it was really good.
Oh, it was so good the entire time. I mean, still to this day, I'm like, is he innocent or guilty? I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea.
But that's why I like shows like Your Honor or Cruel Summer, and I'm hoping Presumed Innocence because we're watching that too, where they actually give you an ending. Like Defending Jacob, they were like, leave it up to your imagination. And the book also leaves it up to your imagination. I'm like, just finish the story.
They have got to tell us in Presumed Innocent. They have got to. Well, who do you think wait, did you watch last night?
No.
Okay, me either.
Okay, I was just gonna ask. Oh God, part of me thinks that he might be guilty because of his anger issues that he's kind of been slowly showing throughout each episode.
I know he could be. So I think it could be him. I also think it could be Tommy Malto.
He's my second guess.
He's freaking me out at every turn. Her son is too, though.
Oh my God, and then also I'm like, or could have been the wife.
I know, she seems very put together, but it could have been her.
Tommy really, his anger issues really throw me through a loop, and also he knew about the tying up thing, so I'm like, he could easily have freaked out and like been a copycat.
Mm-hmm.
But at first that was a slow show, but now after last week's, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to see what happens.
I can't wait to watch yesterday's today. I'm so excited.
And Jake Gyllenhaal is a very good actor. I really like him.
He's great in it. Like, he's just perfect for the role. I don't know why. Like, he just... I always forget about Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, he's never on my radar, but I think he's doing a really good job.
Have you ever seen the show The Undoing? We now have a true crime podcast, everyone.
I do kind of think
With Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant.
Yes.
That was great.
That's a top 5. I mean, that was so good.
That's like what got me into it, right? That was one of those things where I'm like, there's no way it can be this obvious. And then you're like, oh my God, he's a sociopath.
Yeah, like he just did do it. Yeah, I forgot I did see that one. That one was so good. Nicole is great in those. Oh, did you watch the movie with her and Zac Efron?
Okay, I was just going to say, yeah, well, so I tried to watch it. I couldn't really get into it. But did you hear about the money thing or how much they paid everyone?
No.
So apparently, and Julie, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Oh, she's like, I don't know. They paid Joey King, plays the young girl, $650,000 for that movie, and paid like Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman like $10 million.
What?
That's just like what I saw on TikTok. Those numbers could be wrong, but like the pay gap between Joey King, Zac Efron, and Nicole Kidman is apparently like massive. And it's weird because Joey King isn't like a nobody. She's a very well-known actress. And I'm like, that's such a big pay gap.
That's crazy though. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of get Nicole Kidman because like she's been here a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm,
yeah.
Not in a disrespectful way.
No. I get Nicole too, though. I also get Zach. I just would assume they would pay Joey like, I don't know, at least half of what they paid them. At least.
Zach's face just, I don't know. I know I don't want to be rude because I love him so much as an actor, but he's never be the same for me.
Didn't he look better now though? Those photos that first came out after the whole thing, he was very puffy, and I thought in the movie, I thought he looked better.
I think he does look better, but he just doesn't look the same. And it kind of just makes my inner child, a little sad.
So sad because he was truly a pretty boy, like a pretty cute, just a handsome. I don't want to call him hot because I don't know that I thought he was.
He was more of like very beautiful.
Yeah, he just was like like symmetrical face, like he just had that look, and yeah, it is sad.
Like in 17 again?
Yes, exactly. Like, okay, wait, this is what I thought about last night to ask you. Who do you think is more iconic than like who's more well known and more iconic than Reese or Jennifer? Like those two, I don't know. Who do you think between the two of them is more iconic? And then is there somebody out there in that age range that's more, how do you say, not well known, but just like, to me, Sandra Bullock's not. To me, it's like Jen and Reese are like the top two.
Are you watching the morning show?
No, they popped up on my Instagram that they were nominated for like 16 Emmys or something.
Oh, okay, because they're in the morning show together. So I was like, oh, okay. I think Jennifer is more, what was the word, iconic than Reese, because Jennifer will always be from Friends, and that is the most iconic TV show of all time. But someone more iconic than Wow, then Jennifer Aniston. That's a girl. That's a female actress in that age range. Ooh, that's a hard one.
I know.
Do you have one?
No, I don't think there's anyone. I think she is the one.
Because a lot of women in that time frame, like the Sandra Bullocks and stuff, they kind of have slowed down their acting career. I mean, maybe Nicole Kidman, but are they the same age range?
I think they're. I would put them in the same age range, but I think Jen is and Reese. Like, did Nicole have like her Legally Blonde moment?
No, Nicole's like always just been like a very, I feel like, more serious actress. I don't know if she was on any like series. I feel like she went right into the movies.
And Julia Roberts, I felt like was back in the day, like, but not as much now.
Yeah, I wouldn't freak out as much about seeing Julia Roberts and Jen Aniston. Like, I would literally have a heart attack if I saw Jennifer Aniston walking down the street.
She's just like it.
Oh my God. And she's one of those actresses that can play. Like, I saw this TikTok today that was like actresses that play the exact same role in every show. And she was one of them, but I kind of disagree because she's very good at playing like the silly girlfriend in like those Adam Sandler movies. But then also she's great on the morning show playing like a serious news anchor that is helping. Like, that's just a serious show. I've never seen it, but I know it's serious.
You've never seen the morning show?
No, I watched the first few episodes of the first season, but I never continued because I don't have Apple TV.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's excellent in it. And like Along Came Polly's kind of like a weird role, but she just like crushed it.
Oh, Drew Barrymore's kind of iconic.
Yeah. But I don't think she's more iconic. I think she's a good like contestant, but I don't think she beats her.
Yeah, I think Jennifer Aniston has beat everyone for like one of the most iconic actresses of our generation.
Yeah, she's just incredible. And she just looks the exact same.
Yeah. And I think that like the person who we will say later on in life, or like the younger people will say, is maybe Zendaya.
Well,
please tell me no Zendaya.
No, I know who it is. I just did not realize she was of that caliber.
Oh, she is like the hottest thing right now. Like, people love Zendaya.
I don't have any idea what's going on with like new found actor. Did she start out as a singer? Was she in The Greatest Showman?
Yeah, but she was on Disney Channel show Shake It Up with Bella Thorne.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. But she's a singer.
She knows how to sing. Yeah, she's very good, but she doesn't have like people know her for her acting career versus being a singer. But she's in Euphoria, Dune, The Challenger, the tennis movie.
Yeah, so she is good.
Yeah, I would say she's like one of the hottest actresses right now.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay. I thought she was a singer, and then they gave her a role in Euphoria, which I thought she was incredible in. But I did not know it was the other way around. Okay, good for her. Atta girl.
Oh, Dad, I need someone to come over to your house to teach you like what's happening in the news every single day.
Well, I know what's happening in the news of like the, what do you call it? Like, I don't know what's happening in like the pop culture news.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We need someone to inform me on the pop culture. That news I miss.
I get like the newspaper news.
I'm dead. Yeah, and I don't. I mean, obviously I see like the big things like what happened to Trump and that type of stuff, but I don't try to watch the news on purpose just because it's so sad.
It's so sad. I thought that the Trump thing was a joke when Harrison told me. I thought he was playing one of those pranks where he like tells you if someone died, and you're like, oh my God. I was like,
Same. Pete was like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, that's very funny. And then like my friend Abby looked at her phone and she was like, no, like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God.
It's like so great. Like, I still can't digest it.
Like I said, conspiracies.
I know. It's like wild. Quick pause to talk about Apostrophe. Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne treatment for your unique skin. Guys, remember, we've said this a lot. Jordan used Apostrophe, and she got her medicine in like, what was it, a day? What? Tell us the story.
I think it was a 3-day process. I like signed up. I took my pictures, sent it to the doctor. I didn't have to talk to anyone, which I love because I hate talking to people on the phone. They sent me the medication in like a day or two, and I was good to go in 2 weeks. Like my rosacea cleared up and everything.
Incredible. So whatever your skincare goals are, adult acne, reduce dark spot, improve your skin texture, all you need to do is just go to apostrophe.com and sign up, and then you submit your photos just like Jordan just talked about, and then they'll give you a tailored treatment plan. It's truly incredible, and it sounds like it's too good to be true, but it's not. So we have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/meangirl when you use our code meangirl. That's a savings of $15. Wow, that's incredible. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, go to apostrophe.com/meangirl and click get started, and then use our code meangirl at sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you to Apostrophe for sponsoring this episode.
I have another question for you. How do you feel about couples doing the collaboration post on Instagram when it's not a special occasion like a baby's born or an engagement or a wedding? It's just like everyday post here or there.
So I saw that in there, and I went and I thought about people I know that collab post.
And I guess I more so mean like people who have a platform.
Okay, that changes it. Well, I don't.
I'm not a fan. If that helps your
Why,
thought
though?
process at all. I don't know. I think that so I was really thinking about this, and one, I feel like the collaboration feature is made for special occasions. Like when someone collabs, I want to look because I'm like, oh, they got engaged, they got married, they're having a baby. This is so amazing. But now when I see people just doing the collaboration posts on like, kind of like, not stupid posts, but like not important posts, I'm just kind of like, why are you doing that? I feel like you're just throwing your relationship in our faces, or you're using each other for clout. It gives me using each other for clout vibes.
Oh.
I don't know. I get an icky feeling in my stomach when I see famous people or like influencers like collabing with each other.
Right,
on just
when they're
regular
dating.
everyday posts. Yeah.
Okay.
Like we know you're dating.
Right. That does make sense. I don't know. See, here's the thing that I think is funny about it. I never look at who's collabed together, but I will look at who's tagged in a photo. So like I think of collabing, but we look at, what works and what doesn't a lot. And so like I don't think collabing necessarily drives people to the other page, but I think if you're coming from the school of thought that it does, yeah, I would say that it would be like it is like a clout standing on each other's shoulders type thing.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it just gives me the feeling of them using each other, which is totally all these like crazy assumptions in my head. But whenever I see that, I'm always just like, are you guys collabing to like use each other or to like use your relationship for social media views? I don't know. I just get an icky feeling in my stomach. And I've seen a few things online about people talking about that because it's becoming a more casual used feature. And I'm like, let's just save it for the big moments in life.
I do get it if you both want the same photo on your feed. From an aesthetic standpoint, I think that I don't want to see the same post twice. So in that regard, I would understand it. But I think the collabing was created for the we got engaged moment.
Yeah. Like when you have your baby, I would expect, which I doubt you'll do, that you guys would do a collab post.
I would never. I would never use the collab feature that I can possibly even think about. If I even know how to use it.
Do you even know how?
Yeah. Harrison probably won't even post that we have a child. LOL.
He'll post it on his story like a month later. Oh, by the way, we had a baby.
Yeah, I'm a dad. Oh, okay.
I'm dead. How are you feeling, by the way? How is pregnancy? Because you're getting close.
Yeah, I'm trucking along. I'm 31 weeks. Pregnancy's not my happiest moment. I don't feel my real self. I don't have the energy. I'm sick a lot. And what the new thing now, the new deal is like severe exhaustion during the day, and then insomnia hits at night. So, and I heard that was common in the third trimester, and I thought no, because I've been sleeping so well at night, and like I had breakfast twice 2 nights ago. Like I had it at like 1:30 in the morning, and then I had it again at 4 a.m. because I was just wide awake. But
Are you allowed to take sleeping medication when you're pregnant?
Unisom and B6 is like a really good thing for nausea. So and so that's like you can take Unisom.
But didn't that mess up your hormones and your emotions?
No, that was Reglan. That was the digestive pill that helps with nausea. So
Okay.
so Unisom and B6 is like the one you can like, it's like a ginger tea. You know, it's like a at-home situation.
Does it help at all?
It does make me sleep. But I don't know, you know, they suggest you can take it during the day too. But that just does not. During the day, then you're voluntarily taking Unisom in the middle of the day. I mean, imagine.
Are you still nauseous like you were?
I'm
Earlier?
not nauseous like because it was really, really, really bad. I'm not nearly nauseous like I was. So I do have to remember that. I am a lot better now, but I am still nauseous.
How is the eating dairy been?
Oh my God. It's unbelievable.
That's
Like,
wild.
It's wild. And I don't know what I'll do if I have to go back to the other way, because like I butter everything now. Like I order like clam chowders. Like I'm eating constant dairy. I have milk in the morning. Like I put cheese on everything. Like I love real life pizza. So it's like it's the absolute best thing. Like I eat cheese sticks all the time. And to have to go back on that would just suck.
I just cannot believe you went 30 years pretty much without eating cheese. Like, you can't go back. You need to continue this life. It's just such a better life.
It's actually better. I used to always say, oh, it's not that bad, because I didn't know what it tasted like. And it wasn't that bad because I had never actually had like a full-blown piece of pizza.
Yeah.
In college, I would be drunk and I would have a piece of pizza, but I've never like soberly sat and ate a piece of pizza, so I didn't really know what it tasted like. And what you don't know, you don't really care about.
Yeah, and now you can have like charcuterie boards and queso and nachos. Cheese is just incredible.
Queso's a top one that I love right now. Yeah, exactly. Milkshakes, I can have like a full-blown milkshake, like a real, you know, OG milkshake that's like bad for you with malt in it. I love those.
I actually, not to say that this is similar at all, but since I got back on birth control, I ate a whole pint of ice cream and I didn't feel sick.
Really?
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing. All of a sudden, my mom bought half-baked Ben & Jerry's, and I was like, well, I have to have a bite. I just had one bite, and I was like, okay, this is really good. And next thing I know, like half the pint was gone, and I was like, my stomach feels fine, though. And then I ate the whole pint, and my mom was like, do you need to take something? Like, are you going to smell up the whole place? Because, like that type of stuff doesn't sit well in my stomach, and I was fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, wait, how else, besides that, which I guess there must be some hormone link to this dairy situation that we need to investigate, but how else are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. I have been on it 1 month. I've gone through one pack, and I got my period early the first month, which is so normal. But the best part about that was I didn't have any symptoms. It was truly like I woke up, went to the bathroom, got my period, and I was like, oh, versus like I'm usually feel like I'm going through contractions. I feel like I'm going to vomit. I'm in so much pain. I can't get out of bed because I'm so exhausted. I literally was like, oh, I got my period. Okay, cool. I had like one cramp. Easy peasy.
And how was the flow? Like, and how long was it?
So it was pretty regular. It was like 7 days, so still a pretty long one. Which, like, whatever. I don't really care too much about the length. It's more of the pain and like the depressive spells that came with it, and then getting it every 18 days. So as long as I have like a normal 30-day cycle and I don't feel pain, I can handle like a heavier period or like a 7-day period, like whatever.
No question. I think like,
Yeah.
and like if you're not cramping out the wazoo, whatever, you got to change your tampon more. That's the least, like that's a silver lining for you now.
I know you don't get your period anymore, but did you hear that all these things about lead being in tampons?
Yes, I did. I have seen that. Yes. So
I'm afraid.
when I went to Paris, I was on my period and I got they only sell over there supernatural ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put them in, and there was a point where I fell, like I had to kneel to the ground. Like they were hurting me so bad. And they're the all natural ones. And I thought, what is happening to me? Like I was like, and it was after the lactose situation. So I was like, maybe my stomach is messed up. And then I was like, maybe it's these tampons. So the second I got back to the US, I swapped to my other ones and I could like stand up and breathe again. You know how like sometimes your cramps can get so bad. So I was thinking about how interesting that was. They were saying that some of the tampons are like so about the lead in them. And then I was like, well, I've tried the all natural ones and like my body was like rejecting it. Isn't that interesting? It's so weird.
That's so interesting because one of my good friends, she doesn't love tampons, but a few weeks ago she had to use them just because it was one of those heavy flows, and she had a similar situation to you where she was on like the bathroom floor, like shaking in so much pain, like took the tampon out and felt completely fine after like an hour. And she was like, was it because my body was rejecting this tampon? Like, did it have anything in it? And I've never experienced that, but now I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to buy like the organic ones, but that's very scary because I've been using Tampax Pearl or Latex Sport or Playtex Sport for years.
I think like I don't think we can win though, because it's like, you know, Keurig, there's plastic in your coffee apparently. And if you use a Ziploc bag, like there's all, you know, even the plastic water bottle I'm drinking right now. It's like I think our bodies have so much of it in there already. Like we're trying to do like plastic free at home, which is
Same.
the Harrison
Pete's
thing.
trying to do that too. Pete literally threw away all of our plastic Tupperware and bought glass Tupperware.
Yeah, we're only doing glass as well, and no plastic.
He's like, do you know how
bags.
many plastic biomes you eat a day? And I was like, no, I don't.
And I don't care how many I eat. But now I'm thinking about it. And so I'm like, I don't know if we're sticking lead up there, drinking plastic. Like you can't not. I don't think.
Right, I know. And Pete's also, I don't know if Harrison does this, but people will be like, I'm not drinking that. There's lactose in it. There's aspartame. And I'm like, whatever. Like, just give me it. I'll drink it.
We are literally doing the best we can, and we don't have very good options.
He literally will be at the store and he's like, no, lactose. Red dye number 4. He's going to kill me. And I'm like, I drink 3 coffees and 4 Diet Cokes a day. I don't care.
I was making a salad from a salad kit yesterday, and I was like about to dump it, and Harrison just came by and like swooped in. He's like, let me read you this ingredients list. And I was like, please don't. Like, do not read me the ingredients list. And he like brought me like an organic, you know. He's like, if you can pronounce everything on the back of the label, then it's good for you. And I'm like, well,
right?
Where am I going to find that?
He's like, Jordan, there's 4 grams of sugar in this. And I'm like, okay.
That's not that bad. That seems low. Seems like a low amount of sugar.
Do you know how much sugar is in this? Do you know how much sodium? He's like, oh, you feel puffy because you definitely ate a lot of sodium yesterday. I'm like, stop with the nutrition facts.
Oh my God.
He's like, oh yeah, those are good because there's probably a lot of sodium in them. And I'm just like, oh my God. Okay, Dad.
Yeah, what am I supposed to eat? Like, no, now we've got an ice cream maker, which we're going to break out tonight. I know, we're going to make our own. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How is living in a house been?
Oh, it's great. It's great. Like, I don't know what I was doing, like living in hotel rooms, because just having your own bed to sit in sometimes is, and you know what? I think I feel a little bit better because we're eating at home. So there's not so much just like stuff in my food, like those processed oils and things. And I think it really does make a big difference, because when we were living in hotels and things, like every single meal was out. And I think that was really hard on my body because, like, we've talked about this, but notoriously I eat pretty bland. And I don't eat bland now. Like, I have cravings of all these different things, but as long as I can kind of control it at home, it's a lot better. So living at home is just, it's magnificent. Like, I feel a weight lifted off my shoulders.
I forgot. How many bedrooms is it?
4 bedrooms. And then the best thing we have is a man cave downstairs.
Oh,
that
that's
he can
so
just.
nice.
Is Pete on this NCAA thing?
Is that soccer?
No, it's football. This video game that came out.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm very lucky Pete doesn't play video games.
Well, I didn't know Harrison did, but this
Is it Xbox?
Yeah, I think it's an Xbox or a PlayStation or something. I knew he gamed, like I knew that obviously, but he came upstairs today and he was like, I think it's Madden. They hadn't released a game in like X amount of years, and they released one, and I mean, it is, I don't know what the equivalent of it for us would be like. I don't really think we have one.
We don't. I've always thought about that. I'm like, men have video games and sports. What do women have?
Like they have golf.
Sephora?
We don't have like there's no sport that girls go play all day long with each other on the weekends. Like we don't have that.
No. Men have all these like little activities that they get to do. And I'm like, what do we do?
Exactly. Like I'm like, interesting.
My brother probably plays that though. He loves, like, he likes gaming.
He probably got it then, yeah. But if I can hear the drums in my head right now of the band, the football band playing. And I think, man, I'm so glad we have that man cave because he goes down there and he'll play it some. And I'm like, oh, that's like so fun. I was thinking about it too, like, because we were talking about if my office was going to be a bedroom or the downstairs vice versa. And I'm like, what would I do with a man cave? Like, there's a reason they call it a man cave because I would never be down there.
The only thing I could think would be you building a studio.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'll just use a room upstairs for that. But like, I would never use like a full man cave. Like, think about all the things they can do then. There's sports, they can do video games, they can have like poker nights, like all this stuff. And I'm like, what would girls do? Like, what would I do? Watch a movie, I guess, maybe?
My man cave would be like, give me a room with the best lighting so I can sit with like, and put a coffee bar in there and like a wine bar and like a big flat screen TV. Like, but I want light.
Yeah, I want it to be well lit, and I kind of want it to be on the first floor with the window, like, yeah, I don't know. And I would get antsy down there.
Yeah. I know, it sucks. Like, I think about that all the time. I'm like, what would life be like if I had hobbies on a regular, like things to do on a regular basis that don't involve eating, drinking, or being on my phone? Or like the basics, like I read.
Right. I know.
Oh, what else?
Yeah, these guys, they've got so much going on. They've got games to watch. Games to play. I'm just like so jealous, and I'm like,
Life would be great if I keep trying to find hobbies, and like I was looking at adult coloring, but then I was like, when am I gonna have time to do that?
Oh my god!
And then
you gotta try it. I have adult coloring books, and I do use them at night sometimes. It's hard to start one, but you might love it. I love it.
Doesn't Harrison talk to you, though, when you're doing it?
Sometimes not, though. Sometimes I sit and do it in silence.
Oh, see, that, I don't know if Pete and I will get silence until we live in a different apartment.
Yeah, that's
Our
true.
apartment's
that's
like
true.
the size of this studio.
That's true. Maybe not. Maybe like, yeah.
I always joke with Pete where I'm like, you don't talk to me until I pick up my phone.
Does he not?
Like that's like that will happen where like if we're sitting in silence, let's say we're like sitting on the couch, kind of like doing your own thing. All of a sudden, I'll pick up my phone to like I'll be like, do I have time to like have TikTok time? And then I'll be like, so Jordan, da-da-da-da. I'm like, you didn't talk to me for the past 10 minutes. You were doing your own thing, and now you want to talk to me because I'm busy. He was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just
That is such a real thing. I think I do that. I think I'll do that to people. Like, I think that's a thing. I think we don't, if you're sitting in silence, fine. But if you have your phone, I do feel inclined to be like, no, hi, what are you doing?
Yeah. He's like, but I want you to talk to me. And I'm like, but you don't want me to talk to you 5 minutes ago. Like,
yeah, when I was
want
doing
TikTok
nothing.
time.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really funny. That's good that you picked up on that, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when a space is so small, you pick up on everything.
Is he a scroller?
Yes, but not as bad as I am. Like,
Okay.
he's become more of a scroller because of me. But I'm like a way worse scroller than he is. Like he has like hobbies. He'll occupy his brain in like creative ways, and I occupy my brain by like sitting on the couch, scrolling on my phone or watching TV.
How's your morning routine been?
So technically I don't move in till Saturday, so 2 days from when we're recording. But like I sleep there every night and it's so easy. Like I'll wake up and he'll be at the gym, and then I'll be pretty much walking out the door when he gets home from the gym. We're not in each other's way at all.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And then like when we get home, or when I go to his apartment, he gets home, like he's just like ready to like make dinner, and then we just like go on a walk, and it's so easy.
That's wait, how was your anniversary?
It was good. So that was just 1 year of meeting. So we were like, let's just do something fun, because our real anniversary isn't until the end of August. But we just like relived the first night we met, like went to the same bar we met at and stuff. And it was just crazy because we both were like, I feel like we have literally known each other for 10 years. There's no way it's only been a year, which is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just, it's so crazy how fast time goes.
I feel like I don't know you without him.
Right? I know, that's how I feel with you and Harrison. I'm like, what was life before you met Harrison?
Yeah, it's so funny to think about, but like, so it's been a year since you met him. Okay, so the night was fun though. Like you guys just went to the bar, and it's near your old apartment. So you kind of had to go. You had to travel a bit.
Yeah, and it was really bittersweet because I went to my old apartment area because I used to live in Midtown East, and now I live on the West Side. But it has changed so much. Like New York changes so fast. Like there's a new building up, there's like a new like coffee place, restaurants. I'm like, none of this even looks the same anymore. It's been a year, it's been a year. I'm like, so much has changed.
Oh wow, that's crazy that it's already done so much turnover.
I know, but it was good. It was just like so wild because we were like, how has it only been a year? I feel like I've known you my entire life.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I'm glad it was fun though. So now we've got the real 1 year coming up.
Yes, and I'm so excited to move in and get settled this weekend. It's gonna be so easy. Like I'm not bringing anything besides like a few things, but I'm just so excited to just like be there, not pack overnight bag every night, and just like live with him. I practically already do. Like I sleep there every night, but I'm just so excited to have like all my stuff in one space.
No, it will be such a load off for you not to have to like take your backpack back and forth. Like even if you do spend the night over there all the time, it's like you're not living with them until you fully have all your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like I'm there almost every moment of the day, but there's just that thing about having to pack a bag and going back and forth, or like showering, getting ready at my apartment, but sleeping at his. I'm like, it's not going to be the same until I like fully don't have to leave this apartment to do things.
No question. I think it'll be a massive load off, and you probably don't even really realize it, but it will. It'll be so nice.
I know. So I feel like I've been saying that for so many episodes. Like next week I'll move in. But once this episode comes out, I will officially be moved in, and then we have to deal with a few more months of his lease, and then we figure out next steps from there.
Okay. Do you want to do the Am I the Asshole?
Yes.
All right. Am I the asshole? I'm having a dilemma with one of my best friends and her husband. We used to party a lot when we were in college together. We are 29 now, so I've toned down the partying a lot because it's more suitable to my lifestyle. Her husband and her both get weird when I tell them I'm not drinking with them. They keep trying to peer pressure me to drink any time that we go out and are hanging out at someone's house. I have a very outgoing personality, so I'm not that different when I don't drink. I feel like they make such a big focus when I'm not drinking that it ends up ruining their night and mine because they won't leave me alone about it. Am I the asshole? Send help. I care about them so much, but it's a weird tension in our friendship.
I love that question because I feel like so many people go through this, and this is why a lot of that like early post-college relationships end, like friendships end.
Yes.
Yes. Like I feel like that's why a lot of friendships end. It's when you kind of go into like different parts of your life, and some people like to continue to party and drink every night, and some people like to slow that down, and the people who don't accept their friends wanting to slow down is when there's like a ton of tension, and people are like, then I just can't be friends with you because of all the peer pressure.
Yeah, and I feel like we wake up and the world passes some people by because they really got stuck in that like social competitive phase where they thought the coolest thing was who went out and did the coolest thing on Friday and Saturday, when in reality it kind of flips on its head, where it's like, go out to the bars and stuff on Monday and to like do your thing, of course, be social, but like just as important is like starting to plan for the rest of your life, right? Because when you're 30 and 35, you can't go on those fun vacations and things if you didn't like put in the work, right? So I think like this question, I think you're right. I think everyone goes through it, but like, are you the asshole? Absolutely not. You're just growing up.
Oh my God, no, yeah, she's not the asshole at all. Her friends are. It's sad because anytime you have friends who make you feel bad about not drinking, it's because they're insecure about their own drinking habits and they want you to be drinking as much as them because they are insecure that they drink so much. So it's truly them just pushing their insecurities and projecting onto her. And the fact that they can't just allow her to do her own thing, like, it makes me sad for her that she has these friends who are like, no, you have to drink with us. Like, you have to drink. And it's just like, you drink. Let her do as much drinking as she wants, and like you guys can still be friends.
Yeah, kind of like heckling her. It's like, what? In what world? Like, that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people. It's funny. It's probably the thing that's changed the most, right? You go out so much less now, because you're just older. You don't bounce back as fast. Like you just simply don't feel as good. Mm-hmm. And I think people start to save up their drinking for like certain occasions.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, last weekend, Pete and I went out 2 days in a row, which we never do, and we both woke up Sunday and we were like, I don't want to drink for like 2 weeks. Like I can't do it anymore. I just feel like absolute crap. It makes me wake up and my whole Sunday's ruined. Like I'd much rather just go out and have a couple drinks at a fun dinner than go out and drink 8-9 drinks on a weekend.
Right, like go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. And I think if they keep heckling you about it, like I would almost just look at them and be like, guys, is me not drinking going to be like a deal breaker in this friendship? Because that to me would be crazy. That's not a real friendship, right? Like there's such thing as like you're going out friends, but then there's such thing as you're just like well-rounded friends. And like I feel like if we cut off drinking from that portion, like that wouldn't make that big of a difference.
And why does her not drinking affect you guys? Like why is it that big of a deal?
Right, like do your thing. Like who cares?
Like if because I dealt with that a ton, like right after college, because I wasn't really that big of a drinker, and I've talked about this in the podcast, like during and right after college. So I always had friends like pressuring me. They were like, come on. And it was like, you know what? I don't think I want you as a friend anymore if you're just going to pressure me every single time we go out.
Right.
Because it's just not for me. And it was for like other reasons of like me needing to take care of my ex-boyfriend or just stuff like that. And I was like, I just don't want to.
Right. And that's like totally fine. It doesn't change your experience. Like I think one place where I can't think of one. I was going to say like, I don't know, Napa, if you went wine tasting all day, maybe, yeah, you would like it if people like partook in the tasting of the wine, but not even really there. Like I think everyone's fine to do your own thing.
Yeah, and like I know I have like a very comfortable relationship with alcohol where like if Pete and I go out to dinner and he's like, I don't want to drink, I'll still have like a glass of wine or two because I enjoy the taste of wine. Like I want to enjoy a glass, but like him not drinking isn't affecting my choice at all.
I totally agree with that. And I think that is how you know it's a healthy relationship because you're not like drinking with somebody. You're just like, I like the taste.
Yeah. So she's definitely not the asshole. Her friends are. And if they keep pressuring her, honestly, like I don't see it getting better over time.
No, and you're not alone with that. I think a lot of people at our age go through that shift of like who's going to kind of stop the raging. I think there's a time and place for raging, which is like very fun, right? Like I think the older you get, the less you do it, the more you can be like, okay, we're all going on a vacation and we're going to be like lit. And it's like, yes, that is so fun. And
yes.
we will pay the whatever, the tax on that for the next 2 weeks because our bodies will hurt. But like gone are the days that every Thursday, Friday night, you know, are you just like, what are we doing?
1,000%.
Okay, listener question.
Yes.
Okay, I'll read while you sip, and I will be jealous of you. Okay, listener question. I have recently run into a relationship problem, and I'm looking for advice and suggestions on how to navigate it. My husband and I have been married for 1 year and have been together for 5 total. We are both young, 23 me, 22 him, and have only been with each other. Been is all capitalized. I think that means slept with. My husband and I have had friends that are members of the opposite sex, and it has never been an issue. We've done a fair job communicating about these friendships in order to stay in a healthy relationship. Recently, my husband asked if it was okay if he went out to a bar with one of his female coworkers. This coworker had me feeling a little uncomfortable solely based on the amount of talking they do outside of work, nonstop texting, Snapchatting with occasional phone calls. What do I do? Is it wrong of me to want to pursue this, for him to not pursue this friendship outside of work? You had me at Snapchat.
Oh my God. 1,000%. No, if Pete ever was like, I want to get drinks with my coworker, just one-on-one with her, and she's single, I'd be like, no.
He just would never ask. I mean, what planet are you on?
Like, my ex is now dating his best female coworker. Like, your coworkers are the closest people in your life. Like, next thing you know, he's sharing all the problems in your relationship, and then they build an emotional relationship. Don't let him pursue that. I'm just kidding, but seriously, don't let him pursue this relationship.
And here's the thing, too. Here's the thing, right? No relationship is more important than the one you're in, right? So, like, he doesn't have any grounds to stand on here when she says, I'm not comfortable with you going. Even if it's the most benign relationship on the planet, you don't go. You just say, okay.
Right?
That's it. There's no further discussion.
I think when you're in a relationship, like any person of the opposite sex that's not grandfathered in, like that wasn't a friend before the girl came around, like that girl has the right to say, no, you can't be friends with that girl.
The only scenario here that's acceptable is if the girl from work wants to invite both of them to go.
Yes, or they have like a bunch of coworkers going, or still, if she's like married in a relationship, I would still think it's like a little weird. But like if they've been friends for like 5 years and like I've met the boyfriend or the husband, I'm like, yeah, whatever, go get drinks after a long stressful day. But
you're still not going.
Yeah, still I'm like, you don't need to.
That's still weird, right? And like this non-stop texting, Snapchatting with occasional phone calls. 23 and married? Non-stop texting, Snapchatting, and phone calls? Like, if there is smoke, there will be fire.
Also, if you guys are coworkers, why can't you just save the conversation till you get into the office the next day? Why do you have to continue to text and call each other after hours?
And this better be a startup that is solving world hunger or something.
Right.
Like, it better be some, like, life is on fire kind of job, because I don't understand what we would be calling and texting and Snapchatting about.
Right? I am so grateful that Pete works with a majority of guys, and, like, we're all girls, and I'm sure you're grateful that Harrison works with guys. Like, I never want to be in that type of situation.
No, neither do I. But that is so obvious to me, that one.
Right?
She wrote it well. Like, she included a lot of context. I'm really sorry you're going through it. Like, I'm really sorry you're going through it, because that sucks, but you're not wrong. Yeah,
and don't let him gaslight you or make you feel like you're the problem. What he's doing is the problem.
No question. And I pray that when you bring it up to him, he doesn't say, there's nothing going on, leave me alone, you should trust me.
Also, delete Snapchat if you're that old.
Just come on.
Stop with the Snapchat, you guys. Delete it. We should not be having Snapchat after college.
Like, I can't. Like, this, she's right here. Yeah, correct.
Right.
Issue, yes.
Do you want to quick do Rex?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so have you heard of the movie Longlegs?
No, I looked it up though when I read yours.
So it's like being talked about as like the scariest movie of the year, the scariest movie in so long. It's with Nicolas Cage. I saw it. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't find it scary, but I think it was a great. I don't know if it would be classified as like horror. It was a great scary movie to see. Like I saw it in theaters and I was very pleased with it. But people are making this big deal. They're like, people had to leave the theater. People were freaking out. It was so scary. And I'm like, it wasn't that scary.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good. I think, to me, the thing is, like when I watch a scary movie, granted, Nicolas Cage looked nothing like Nicolas Cage in this movie. But the fact that Nicolas Cage is so famous, my brain, I think, can be like, you know who Nicolas Cage is. Like, he is playing this actor who is supposed to be a serial killer.
Right.
It's not real. Versus, like, when you watch scary movies with, like, quote-unquote, like, nobodies that you don't know, you're like, wait, this is actually really scary because, like, I don't know who this person is.
Oh, I do think that could make a very big difference.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, we're not scared of Nicolas Cage. I just see him in, like, National Treasure or whatever.
Right?
Yeah, like, he's not scaring me, but that's so true. Like, a random person that I don't know that's really scary could scare me.
Yeah, and it was so good. Like, it was a great movie. I would totally see it again. I thought it was so well written. The ending was a very good twist. There was just, like, don't keep listening if you don't want to be spoiled. It was, are you going to see it? I won't say
I don't know.
anything.
I kind of, like, might.
Okay.
Because I go to movies. I get a little bored. I would maybe do that.
Okay, all I'll say is the type of horror that was in this movie wasn't the type that scares me, that, like, really gets me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, you know, sometimes there's movies that are, like, about demons, Satan, humans killing humans, dolls, like, ghosts, like that. Like, there's, like, different types of scary.
Yeah.
Like, who the type that was in that movie isn't what scares me.
What type? Okay, that makes sense. I see. It's not. Yeah, right. Demons don't scare me because I don't think they're real.
Okay, so yeah, for example, I'm not saying that's what I'm thinking, but like, yeah, like if you were to watch a scary movie about demons, you wouldn't be scared. But if you were to watch a scary movie about maybe a man who lives in an apartment and kills a bunch of girls, like that would terrify you because like it's more realistic.
It would scare me. Yeah. That makes total sense. Okay, so it's not your kind of scary. Okay.
Yeah, but it was really good, and it was well written. I would totally see it again. Like, definitely worth the hype of it being a good movie, but I just didn't think it was scary.
Maybe I will. Okay, maybe I'll watch it. Okay. Now movie and popcorn sounds good. Mine's Presumed Innocent. Just, I know we're both watching it, but I just think, like, if you're not, go now. Because and what kills me about it is that we can't watch all the episodes at once. So
right? I know. I'm gonna watch that tonight. Yesterday's episode.
Same. I'm so excited.
And you have to watch Cruel Summer. I think you would really like it.
Okay, I need another show. The problem is when I find one that's all out, I watch them all. But whatever.
Oh yeah, same. I think I finished that series in like 2 days.
Yeah. You really powered through The Hills.
Oh, that was so good.
That's a lot. That's a lot of watching. When you finished it.
That was such a great time in my life.
I know. Don't you wish? Like, you never want these shows that are good to end ever. I never want them to end.
I'm on season 7 of Desperate Housewives, and I think I've been watching or rewatching it for almost a year now. I think I started watching when I moved into my apartment last year, and I'm like, what am I gonna do when I'm done with this show? It has gotten me through almost every single day.
That is sad, actually.
Yeah, it's just like the background noise.
Yeah, it's perfect just to have on. Exactly. Shows like that are great.
So DM us some shows we can watch. DM some good bed rotting shows for Alex because she needs to rest.
Yes, please do that. Preferably on Apple. It's like one I'm logged into and I don't have to like go find my password.
Do you have Hulu?
Like somewhere.
Ugh, that's Cruel Summer. Okay. Yeah, that's Cruel Summer.
Harrison will have it. I can get on that.
Okay, yeah, that's my homework for you to watch Cruel Summer this weekend.
Okay, thank you. I like that homework. It's good. It's a good homework.
Yeah, and then text us your movies, DM us your movies. I love watching TV shows. I love TV.
Yeah, send it to us, please.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, I was going to talk about Bethany Frankel being single because it popped into my head when you said Real Housewives, but I think we've been talking for over an hour, so I think. I
will just say one quick side note about Bethany. I'm really becoming a Bethany fan.
Love her. Oh, gosh, I've always just loved her.
She's so funny.
She's great. She's so real, so opinionated, so funny, so like, oh, she's all of it. I agree.
Wait, we should get her on the podcast.
That'd be great. I would love to. Oh, I'd love to.
She just eats her bagels and like just like chats. And I'm like, Bethany, are we best friends?
Yeah, she's just fabulous, that one. A lot going on in that brain. I love it.
I love it. Okay, well, we love you guys, and we'll see you next Monday.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordan Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.